I don't even know if I'm against that. I'm just saying, if we're going to have a fact-finding mission at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's what Schaub's going to do with Bobby.
Now, where did you find this out, Ben? Are you on one of those sites you go on?
No, I went to Wikipedia and then went to a separate article
and
that was cited.
And they said that they hunted the Chinese and ate them?
Yeah, so modern historians now consider that these early reports, like the tales of the Kuku Yulanji hunting Chinese for cannibalistic feasting, whatever partial truth they contain, functions to assuage any guilt Europeans... Assuage any guilt...
Assuage.
Sorry.
Not a sewage.
Any guilt European settlers may have felt for their key role in the dissemination of northern Queensland Aboriginal communities. So that is a disputed thing. I don't want to disparage the good people here, but I mean...
Ben, in this instance, what does Chinese person mean?
Oh,
now,
good question.
This tribe, this tribe, the Lululemon, what did they... I think a lot of these... The Lululemon... maybe ate a few Chinese people, but did they deserve to have their land taken so that they could build this shit hotel and get my business and serve me shit food and charge me an arm and a leg so that they can run around like a Stasi wanting to know where I am at every moment of the fucking day? I'd rather be here eating Chinese babies with the Lululemon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they even have to qualify it. They're dismissing it, but they also have to qualify it, saying whatever partial truth that contains.
Here's the deal, folks. White people are horrifically violent. But if you think that natives were it was all like sunshine and happy songs, it's not the case. There were tribes, there was warfare, there was violence, there was pillaging, there was conquering, there was cannibalism. Mm-hmm. I mean, violence is not the providence only of white European settlers. It was really the currency of the world. I mean, people that have an ignorance of history or that only study the colonial era and they don't look back at ancient history. They don't know anything about antiquity. They don't know anything about, they get a very skewed view of the world. And they tend to demonize Western civilization that has a litany of problems. And like every civilization, was built on oppression, plundering, killing, murdering. But before that, listen, there's very few countries that were established by people showing up and going, hey, do you mind if we get in on this? That's not the way the world worked. It was a world of conquerors and killers, of diseases, People have to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, blood meridian. Violence is man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Men are violent people, and so are women. And we just got to move on from this. It doesn't matter that they ate Chinese children or adults. It doesn't bother me. The Lululemon can do whatever they want. Is there a spokesman for the Lululemon?
For the Kuji?
His
or
book,
the Kugu?
His book is in our bathroom right now.
Oh,
that guy.
I saw that.
I dropped it behind the window, and I can't get it out.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get at it, too, when I was taking a shit.
One of the elders of, I think, this tribe, there's a book of his photography in our room, me and Ben.
I'm just siding with them because they haven't been fucking me for 3 days, serving me shit, and getting in my business. So I don't care what they did. I would have rather hang out with them. There is an indigenous swimming hole here called the Blue Hole that you're not allowed to go in.
Yeah.
And because it's for the local women to bathe. And some people did. And one guy said he was cursed and he's now sterile. Let's move on here because I don't want to lose myself. This isn't, a show that's going to I'm not a travel blogger. I will be back home next week. I just want to let everybody know that the Silky Oaks Lodge in Queensland, Australia is running a human trafficking ring. Do with that information what you will. Many people right now are having problems with coming out of the pandemic, especially agoraphobics. You want to make sure your mental health and your mental fitness is great. So BetterHelp is huge. People don't realize physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. And let's not forget about doom scrolling, sleeping too little, sleeping too much, undereating, overeating. I have all kinds of stress, and it comes out in many different ways. Stress shows up. You got to fight it and understand your triggers, understand how to push through. understand how to treat yourself well. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. I'm telling you right now, I use this, you use it, all of our friends use it, and we're all doing mentally great. All of my friends are just in a beautiful place mentally. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Tim Dillon Show listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/TimD. That is BetterHelp.com/TimD. They're fucking billionaires. They've got the inside line on everything. Even inflation can't touch them. But I'm about to walk into their eyes wide shut party and start pulling off masks because I know their secret. Picasso, Basquiat, Banksy. Lots of these motherfuckers are investing in mad amounts of contemporary art. Why? How about 36% average historical price appreciation when inflation is at 3%? Or outpacing the average total return of the freaking S&P 500 for the last 25 years? Now there's someone who could beat them at their own game who's making this art available to people like us. I'm talking about Masterworks. I've mentioned before how I think this idea is genius, and you guys seem to agree. So I use my massive swinging influence to get all my listeners priority access to skip their wait list. Just go to masterworks.art/Tim. That's masterworks.art/Tim. And I'm telling you right now, investing in these pieces of art, you don't have to have $100 million anymore. All you have to do is have a Wi-Fi connection and a little bit of money and intelligence, because you can go in there, buy a percentage of one of these amazing paintings and see your money safely appreciate while it is tied up in one of the great commodities of our time, art. Go to masterworks.art/Tim. That's masterworks.art/Tim. And see important regulations and disclosures at masterworks.io/CD. That's masterworks.io/CD. Remember, go to masterworks.art/Tim and think about how to protect your money and watch it grow using timeless pieces of art. Roe v. Wade, that is in the news. Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court potentially overturning Roe v. Wade. The federal protections for abortion going to be eliminated. States like Texas, maybe Louisiana, places like that, criminalizing abortion, potentially making it a felony, perhaps. Are we headed backwards towards the dark ages? Yes. However, here's the point that needs to be made. There's got to be a period of time between conception and birth where an abortion is legal. After a certain amount of time, it is cruel, inhuman, and it is murder. You can't have an abortion at 8 months.
Well,
right?
May I?
Yes.
Okay.
Because now you're going to say if the mother's life is in danger.
No, I'm not.
You're going to say, okay, well, what are you going to say?
I'm going to say that usually when it's a very late-term abortion,
yes,
it's one of two things. It's
right.
Either the fact that they do a scan on the baby and it's not developing the way they thought it would, and it's not going to be born with a heart, or it doesn't have a head. It's some very gross mutation that will not allow the child to live outside the utero.
Right.
Or when it gets into a 6th or 7th month, it's because there's certain places in the country where you have to wait 2 weeks to get it all done, and then you work at Arby's and you have to get to Abilene, Texas from Houston.
I understand, but that to me doesn't matter. If you have a 7-month baby inside of you, I don't care how long it's taken you to find out that you're pregnant. I don't care that you had to go from Arby's to Abilene, which I imagine they have an Arby's in Abilene.
They do, yeah, actually.
Yeah, you had prom there, right?
You cannot eliminate a fully, 7 months, kids are born at 7 months and live happy lives. That's a fully formed fetus. Are you saying that you should be able to eliminate a 7-month pregnancy?
I'm just saying that a lot of these instances are just a matter of...
I get the heart thing. I get a baby can't live outside.
Right.
I get that. But what I don't get is like, hey, man, I didn't have the time.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I think 99% of the cases, it's born with a foot for a brain, so they have to kill it before it comes out because it won't live outside. But there are these instances of women not being able...
I know people with feet for brains that live in mansions. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be insensitive to the plight of a mother that is struggling with the fact that the child will not be able to survive. But I don't think you could just say at 7 months, hey, they have Down syndrome, let's flush it.
And I'm not defending it either way. I'm just saying these are the reasons people have late-term abortions.
I understand.
Because I'm already going to get my hole ripped open from even weighing in on it. So
No. Well, you got to weigh in. This is the way. It's the way of the world. I'm saying that in Europe and in the UK, in most places, I don't know how long it is, but it's usually. Ben, can you look up the UK abortions? The vast majority of them are before 20 weeks. I don't know what, or 25 weeks. I'm unsure. This is not an area that I've done a hell of a lot of research.
No, I'm not an expert in third trimester
And
abortions.
I believe that abortion should be legal in America and federally legal. Like, I don't believe, because I think that it just hurts poor women that have to make all these arrangements to go to another state and have an abortion. I don't believe in returning here to the dark ages. It's not good.
Well, the great state of Colorado made it a constitutional protected right.
Well, I think New York did too. I mean, there's some, but I also believe that after a certain point, it's tough to make the moral